Welcome to A Woman's Brew, where women talk about beer. In today's episode, we're taking a look back at the wild ride that was Q2, as we say goodbye to the first half of 2023. I'm Joanne, and this is Tori.
Hello, hello.
And we're two beer-loving women on a mission to get more people drinking and talking about great beer. Come join us. Yeah, like literally.
We just finished recording the bonus.
Where has time gone? Where has time gone? If you go and listen to the bonus, head on over to Coffee. You can hear our little bonus about the breweries that we wanted to drink this month. The link's in the show notes. But we are literally like, where the hell has this year gone? Where's it gone?
It genuinely feels like time has gone so quick, and there has been no time to do anything. It is so... I feel like we're already we mentioned in a bonus episode, if you've watched that already, great. If you haven't, I'd say it feels like, we're recording this and we're already into the third quarter.
Yeah.
Like halfway through the first month, and it's like, holy shit. How is this? And I feel like I am, for the next few months, I am so booked up, as are you.
Yeah.
I'm so booked up solid that it's just, you kind of go, I don't even know when I'm going to have time to do some of these things that I'm planning on doing. So it's like, we're going to keep you in suspense. Are we actually going to finish our list? We don't know.
Who knows?
I'm not 100% confident.
We've still got 6 months though. It's fine.
Yeah, we've still got 6 months, but it's 5 and a bit months.
Yeah. Yeah, so we're going to share with you today kind of a little update on our personal beer goals. We're going to talk you through the Drink Harder challenge that we're having a go at. Dear listener, did you have a go at the Drink Harder challenge? Let us know.
That's where you're at.
Yeah, tell us where you're at.
Scratch the surface. I feel like, I'm not going to lie, I felt I started off so strong.
Yeah, same.
This year. I started off so strong, and then it was like,
nah.
Maybe not.
And now I'm busy and everything's got put to one side. I mean, I've done a lot of beer stuff. Was it what I planned to do? Probably not. But it's still been good. But we'll talk about that.
Also, as we talk about it, you're going to find out that it's like, yeah, I did a lot of beer stuff, but did I actually leave so the first quarter, I started off so strong where I was like, when I do something, I'm going to leave myself notes. This time round,
did you do that?
Literally was scrambling to do some of it, and I was like, I don't even know how I found some of this the first time. I've got so many things, so many photos. I can't even use photos as a reference point. It was just, but should we start? Yeah. As we mean to go on, what are you drinking?
So I am currently drinking Time Lapse from Good Chemistry. They are on my list for breweries that I should drink more of this year. Also, if you haven't, go back and listen to our episode with Kelly from Good Chemistry. We got to have a good chat with them. I've visited the Good Measure and the King's Head in Bristol. Got to spend a bit of time with them at Bristol Craft Beer Festival. All amazing things. This is a 3.8% bitter, and it is beautiful. I am enjoying sipping on it right now. This will come up in our Drink Harder challenge shortly as well, so I'll talk about more of that then. What are you drinking right now?
Well, before we get into what I'm drinking, I just want to add an update, get the klaxon going. So on the episode that we recorded with Kelly, we were talking about how they've got the East Bristol Brewery Trail.
Yes.
And that's happening on the bank holiday in August. And I was very much like, that would be really great to go. Maybe I can try to arrange something. Because I've got a friend that works at Arbor, obviously Kelly at Chem. And it would just be, I just love Bristol in general. It's a really great weekend away. I had nothing going on the bank holiday weekend anyways. And despite the costs being astronomical in a bank holiday weekend anywhere, we've managed to get, and actually probably the last reasonably priced Airbnb. It's a studio in the sense of somebody's turned the front half of their terrace into a bedroom with a kitchen in it.
Nice.
And a bathroom and a front door. And I was like, that's all I need. Just some place for me, Rick, and the dog to sleep. And it's it's probably about 30 minutes to get to the furthest away brewery, and not even, it's 30 minutes to get to my office, which is further away than the furthest away
that's good
brewery in the trail. So we've booked that. I'm officially going to the East Bristol Brewery Tour for the first time, despite every year thinking I should do that, and then we don't. So yeah, it'll be fun family affair. If you see me and you see the fam, just say hi. You can say hi to my dog. She'll probably ignore you.
Yeah, I cannot go because I will be in Germany. So boo, I've got to work. But
I'll be like, boo, I'm going to be in Germany.
Got to go to Germany and I've got to work.
Can you even stand it?
Got to go look at hops in the hop fields. Oh, so terrible.
Hate it.
So terrible. I don't. I love it. That's the problem. But yeah, you're going to have a great time.
I'm going to have a great time. And you're going to have a great time. They're just going to be two great different times. So what am I drinking?
Yes.
Mine's also going to come up later in the episode for something relevant. Not the beer itself necessarily, but I am having the Biro Baladin.
Oh.
And that is their Belgian dark strong ale. So 8.5%. It's in a little 330ml bottle. I
do love their bottles.
It is because it's like that same shape as like the sharing bottles, but it's like a mini version. It's the baby version. So I've got that. It's very tasty. I love a Belgian anyways, and like a dark one. Oh, it's great. So we'll talk about why I've picked that later, and I think that's also in the same segment. So
probably.
But I'm enjoying it now because I'm like, I want to start with it, because why not start aggressive?
All right, do you want to go first with your beer goals, or shall I go first with mine? I've got less than you, I think.
Yeah, I don't know if mine's changed a tremendous amount though, so it's totally up to you. Do you want to go first?
I'll go first. Right, so I think mine were to visit more beery places this year. That's a big yes. I've gone to lots of different places. Went to Bristol Craft Beer Festival for the first time. Went to Indie Beer Feast for the first time. Visited a bunch of different pubs and things that I haven't been to before, which I'm excited about. Went to a beer festival in Europe as well.
That's cool.
Yep, that was fun. Where else have I been?
Everywhere.
Yeah, I've been all the places. I've been all the places.
Literally been all the places.
Literally been everywhere.
So many of the
places.
places.
I've been so many places. So that's a big old. We've ticked that one off, and it will continue throughout the year. I think my most exciting one that's going to happen towards the end of the year is that I get to go to the US and do some beer stuff. So I'm excited for that.
I too get to go to the US and do some beer stuff, but it's not going to be like your US beer stuff.
No.
Mine is. Funnily enough, though, you say that we just booked our flights at Christmas, and this is not a joke either. Like, this is 100% serious. So, booked the flight, messaged my family, going, "This is the dates that we're going to be in the US this year," and they're like, "Great, it's in the calendar, it's perfect." My mum's responded with, "Lots of new breweries to tour. Just saying."
Yes, Sharon.
Unprompted.
We love you, Sharon.
So I went. This is when I'm coming in. I shouldn't have to go through immigration because we do it in this other country. Blah blah blah. And then it's hooray on the calendar. And then 10 minutes later, out of nowhere, lots of new breweries to tour. ... Just saying.
Our families just know.
I responded with, then my sister responded, one of my sisters responded with yes to the brewery tours. So I responded with, weirdly, I just want to go to Sam Adams the most, I think, which we'll get into when we talk about goals. But
Amazing.
yeah, I thought, like, while you're talking about going to the US, like, yeah, I might not be going for the same exciting reasons that you are, but literally on the forefront of everyone's mind, not even prompted by me.
Yeah.
Was just
like, if you're going to Sam Adams, I'm gonna have to give you some money, and you're gonna have to like take pictures of merch and be like, "This is what's available." And I'm like, "Get me one of those. I'm going to send you some money. Thank you."
I'll have to give you like if I go there, I'm gonna have to give you like the countdown so you know when to expect, so you can set an alarm.
Yes.
So and that'll be the first thing I do is take the photos and go, "What do you want?
What do you want?" So I can have a look and tell you what I want. Because that's what beer besties do. Talking of family, actually, and knowing that we're just beer mad, took my dad to Birmingham to actually go see a show.
There's another thing you've done.
Yeah, went to Birmingham, took my dad to a show, was trying to meet up with some of our other friends that were up there, and they were like, "Oh, I'm going to a beer festival." And I'm like, "Come on, Dad, we're going to a beer festival." So took my dad to a beer festival. He didn't drink any beer, but he did come to a beer festival, and then we dragged him around some beer bars. So, I saw him yesterday, and we went to the theatre, and he was like, "Well, today we're not. At least I'm not getting dragged around beer places today." And I'm like, "You loved it. Be quiet."
I'm just saying, I feel snubbed because he came to the Hoppy Place. We talked about it before.
Yep.
He came to the Hoppy Place thing, and I was like, literally, can we just get your dad over here? Like, I feel so bad.
He goes and sits in a corner away from everyone.
That's just what you're like. That's just what he does. Just leave it. And I was like, I'm not going to make anyone feel uncomfortable. No. Just let him do his thing. But occasionally we'd be like, "You sure you don't want to come over?" And he's like, "All good." And we're like, "Okay, fine." And it wasn't even just women, because like Rick was there. Ian was there. There's a few different, Andy from Lisa was there. So
Ian
it's not
was
like
there.
It was just that it was like lots of like feminist vibe situation that was like, no, it was a balance.
Yeah.
But I hear he interacted with you guys.
I mean, I bribed him with chips, so.
I feel so snubbed.
I know, Matt got a selfie with
rejected.
him.
Yeah, I feel rejected. Like, I don't know how to feel about that.
I know.
It's really playing on my
my
anxieties.
That's my dad, everybody.
But
Mr. Joe, as he was getting called by the end of the night.
Mr. Joe. But yeah, that was, you did go to the Suds?
We went to Suds Fest, Attic's little festival, and then we went to Kilda, and we went to Tilt. Yeah, it's good.
Amazing.
Had a good time. Drank some good beer. Right, so what else have I got on my thing? Oh yeah, I was going to keep on top of my beer stash. We all know this is difficult. My problem at the moment is that people keep giving me beer. Thank you to the people that give me beer. But it doesn't help the stash. Although I did have a good sort out last weekend. I think I've got significantly less than you have, Tori pal.
We don't have to name names. We don't have to name names and numbers. Let's calm down on that.
But yeah, no, I am.
Some of the ones I have are for you. Some of the ones I have are for you.
I've got some for you downstairs as well. Again, beer besties. This is what we do. And yeah, I think I'm keeping on top of it now. The spreadsheet, I think, is up today. I think it's okay. It's okay. There's a system. I think it's just about working.
There's a system. I feel like I have a spreadsheet. I don't think it's up to date because I think there's actually more on it than I have. And to be fair to me, I think it's because I do keep up with it, but I moved it to the cloud recently. Because
she lost it.
Because I lost it. And basically, my gaming PC went into a reboot. So no one cares about this, but it went into a reboot cycle. I was so sad. And that is my gaming PC as opposed to my laptop. There's so much more memory on my gaming PC.
Yeah.
So I was like, we will keep the spreadsheet on there. And then it got stuck in a boot cycle, and there was something wrong with my SSD. And I was like, oh, this is horrible.
You want to keep it backed up in the cloud. All the important things, wedding photos, beer stash spreadsheet in the cloud.
Do you even understand how angry I was? Like, Rick, the amount of times that Rick was like, well, it should have been in the cloud. All the stuff should have been all the photos should have been in the cloud. I was like, I was going to murder. I was like, please don't tell me this as I'm sat here. Like, well, it's not. I don't have a time machine. I don't know what you want me to do. And the funniest part was I was like, it's my photos and my beer spreadsheet because I really don't want to have to go through them all again.
Right.
But Richard at work, he is our IT guy. He's amazing. He's not listening to this, but if the off chance he hears this, like, Richard, you are a saviour. He managed to, like, sort things out. I took my PC and he sorted it out. He saved it. But I think that's why my spreadsheet's not up to date, because I've kept it in the cloud, and I think whatever version he managed to recover wasn't the newest version.
Yeah.
So I found things on it that I've definitely had, but then there's some other ones that I'm aging. Yeah. Because I've got multiple to do the vertical, and I'm aging them so they're put away somewhere, and I'm like, oh, I don't.
Right, you don't want to have to go and
I don't know about that, and I'm like, I really
ferret
don't want to
that out and find
everything out again.
Yeah.
So kudos to you. I probably need to do what you've done, but I've been better as well. To be fair, I've looked at how many I've dropped significantly from what I had, so I'm pleased.
Yeah,
doesn't feel like it, but I'm pleased.
My final personal goal was to keep on top of my untapped check-in so that I don't do a rush job at the end of the year. I also, in addition to that, wanted to try and, like, check in at the place that I'd had them more often. That goal's a bit hit or miss. Because, you know, I'm busy. I'm like socialising and drinking beer and enjoying my time, and it's hard. And like, you know, while I'm chatting away to people, you don't want to be that person that's just like, hold on while I just, you know, like that beer with username in it meme. Yeah.
Did I share that meme with you? The one that they've used, is that the one they've used, the guy from I Think You Should Leave Now? And he's checking things in on Untapped, and he's just, if anyone's ever watched I Think You Should Leave Now, it's hilarious. It's like, that's what I watch in bed sometimes. It's funny. And the whole skit is this guy is doing like political interviews. It's like a CNN type like spoof, and he's doing like interviews. And every time someone tries to like start arguing with him on like being like, you're wrong on that statement, there's actually these facts and this about it, and he'll just be like, oh, hang on a minute, and he gets his phone out and he'll just start going on like social media, and he's like, just give me a minute, I'm just checking something. And so they've taken that background and they've gone, when you're an Untapped user out with your friends and anyone tries to speak to you, and it's just him going, just hang on, I have to do something real quick.
Yeah.
And I was like, I feel personally attacked.
Personally attacked. I shared that to my stories, like, and I had several people be like, why are you calling me out like this? And I was like, right. Like, don't show it to my husband, because he literally says that I do that to him if we go to the pub together. And I'm like, do you not understand this is important?
Rick won't talk to me. Like he will be telling me a story. So this is the thing. Like, this is how you know. Like, again, beery besties.
Beer besties.
We will chat to each other and we'll be like phone, and we'll be like yep, and we're having a conversation, but we're looking at our phones. We're doing what we need to do. Yeah. Rick will literally start talking to me. I'll be doing a photo or something. He will stop talking to me, and I'm going, what you stop, and he's like, I'll wait till you're done. And I'm like,
Gordon does the same.
You can keep going. And he's like, no, until you're done on your phone. I'll wait for you to be done on your phone. Do what you... And he's like, not in a rude way. He's like, do what you have to do, and then we'll have a conversation. I was like, but this would go so much quicker if you just
I can multitask. It's fine.
I think that's the thing with like, some brains just multitask better than other brains. And I was just like, I can have a conversation with you and do this.
And do this at the same time.
But he refuses. He's like, no, it's rude. I'm not doing that.
Yeah, Gordon's the same. Our husbands are decidedly similar.
We don't even question.
No, it's fine. We do our thing, and we're like, and let's go on it. Anyway, yeah. So I am kind of. Some are being checked in the right place, some are not. I did just have a big check-in this afternoon while I had a bit of time, got everything checked in. I'm almost up to date. I'm getting there. I think I'm going to have less to check in before our end of year review this year, so it's getting there. Work in progress on that. I think that was all of my personal goals for this year. What about yours?
You've done well.
I think I'm doing all right, yeah.
You are doing all right, I would say. You're not in a bad position. Probably better than me in some places. So my first one was just I put it as get more personal with the podcast, and that was to basically record more in person, visit each other, visit more spots together, just like podcast wise, get together more. And then I think like after the first quarter, when we had seen each other at least once a month, I was like, I feel like we have to keep this train going, because I was like, now I love gamifying things, and now I'm like, I've gamified it in my head. We need to see each other to work out at least once every month. Like, that's just how it's got to be now. I'm sorry, it's set in stone. I didn't make the rules. Just that's how it is. So this quarter we did manage to keep it up.
I think we have, haven't we? Yeah.
We saw each other. So drawing a line from everything I already talked about, we saw each other at Miracai's soft launch day, which was like, yay! That was a really great day.
That was a good day.
So that was April 7th. We got to go to the soft launch at Miracai's tasting room. Go visit them. Absolutely great.
Good stuff.
Great,
good times.
Great spot. Yeah, I think they've got 2 Brave Noise beers on now, their own.
They have.
They've got Attic's Brave Noise. That's
today, as we record.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I don't know if you're...
I don't know when we put this out.
On by that point, we'll find out. And then we saw each other the very next day as well in London.
We did.
We went around, and again, I'm not going to talk about it yet because we'll save that.
Yeah, I'll bring that up later. That's right. Yeah,
relevant.
That was relevant.
This beer ballad.
The beer that she's drinking right now is relevant. Yes,
relevant. So yeah, we saw each other April. In May, you came to stay with me, and I think you just had a free weekend. And You bought into my gamification.
I did, because I was like, we haven't seen each other.
We're not going to see each other. I've got this weekend free. Should I come stay with you?
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, all right then, let's go. So then you came and we recorded a whole bunch of episodes, which was great.
Yep.
And then, because we knew we were seeing each other again in June for Bristol Craft Beer Festival. Yeah. So it was, you were like, oh, what are we going to do about May? And I was like,
yeah,
I'm
we
glad
made it happen.
We made
it happen.
So yeah, then we saw each other for Bristol. 2 nights in a row there. We recorded with Good Chem. It was great. So I feel like on that one, smashing it. And we've already got plans to see each other again. So
we have, yeah.
I'm not going to divulge that yet because I'm not going to do that. So my second one was go to Oktoberfest, like actual Oktoberfest.
Yeah.
I don't want to go for a big all-out every single day of it like some people do. I just want to. I've never been to Germany. As I was first world complaining about, like in another episode, I've just never gone anywhere, and by that I mean like I've not gone to Germany. So I wanted to go to Oktoberfest at some point. I was gonna try to do it this year, but working out the holidays and the finances, I think it's gonna be just a little bit too difficult. So I don't think I'm gonna make that. However, I think for me the fallback is gonna be I'm gonna go to a brewery to do somewhere local enough to do their Oktoberfest, because if you can't go live in person, at least go to a live event.
Yes.
And I want to do it for a brewery, not just one of those pop-up like in your town like I normally do sessions, because I want it to be proper beer and everything. So my next one was just visiting more, like it was more hoping that more people that we support were opening places up and that we could go support them. Obviously, like I mentioned, we went to Mirakai. I haven't gone to Tartarus yet, which was I wanted to be able to do that, but I haven't made it that way yet at all. I know I mentioned that last time, and since then we spoke to Spookton. If you've not listened to that Brave Noise episode, listen to it. We spoke to them again, and John's trying to get a location open, so I'm really hoping that they get their location open and that we can go visit Spookton, because that'll be really cool. So that's the third one. My fourth one is about brew days. So we did 3 brew days. So my goal was to have at least 2 brew days in the book. We did 3 in the first quarter, which we already talked about in the last one.
Yeah.
I haven't done any more since, but there is a very real potential that there could be more before the end of the year, but none in Q2. I never... Until I get details in solid, I never count it as a done deal. So until things are formally booked in, it is never a done deal for me. So nothing firmed up, but some stuff on the radar.
The possibility is real.
The possibility is very real. And then also there was like, I wanted to be able to do one festival, like help out at one festival. So I've gone to a few now. We've already talked about them. You've already talked about them. And I did help out Elusive in this last quarter with a local festival that wasn't necessarily a beer festival, but they were the brewery that was helping out locally, and I got to help out there. So I've ticked that off, so yay, that's good. Wanted to go to at least one bottle share. Didn't have any in Q2, no actual bottle shares, but I do have one that I'm going to that's scheduled in Q3. So I already did the 2 in Q1, so at this point it's just bragging. And 5 was to keep on top of my admin and just creativity overall. So it was kind of a two-parter where it was like keep up with updates on doing the blog, but also on Untapped check-ins, like you said. I have been fucking atrocious at both. I've outlined again, like I used to. I've outlined so many things, but my brain by the end of the working day is so spent that I might want to write about something, or I have something I'm really passionate about that I want to talk about, but I just don't have the energy in me to go and do the research, be creative, and physically get it out there, and spend time with Rick, and do all the other things I need to do, and record podcasts. So it is just really difficult. I think people don't realise how time consuming you have your day job, and then just doing a podcast on the side is tough. And then also, I find it hard to say no to things, so I just agree to do a lot of things, and unfortunately I'm way too tired by the end to try to be creative sometimes. So definitely I've not stayed on top of posts or my Instagram really. I'm there, I check messages, I scroll through, but I just don't post as much really, if I'm honest.
Yeah, same.
Not because I don't want to, just because my brain's done.
Yeah. I think that is something that I want to add to my list. Is that I want to get back to consistent posting on Love Beer Learning, because the change of job and change of, life has just made that more difficult. And I think we've said before, like, I'm prioritising the podcast so we can make sure that we get this out. So the kind of the time that I was spending on those bits, and also like wanted to just spend a bit of time doing a bit of self-care, like looking after yourself, because it's okay to take a step back from social media. Like, it's not the be all and end all. People are still going to be like, the people that are interested will still be there at the end of the day. Like, so I want to kind of get a bit more consistency back in there. I'm thinking of some different ways to do it. Let us know, listeners, what you want to see from us. We want to create the content that you want to see. But yeah, I want to work on that, but not at the detriment of like burning out and stuff. Like, social media is not worth that.
Self-care is so important. Yeah. So important. And it's that thing of like, I feel like I still want to do my bit by sharing when I do go on and I see other people posting. I'm like, I'm going to share that. I'm going to put it on my stories. And sometimes it's more that I'll put things on my stories. My stories is really where I kind of do the majority. And it's because I just find that I haven't really nailed down how I want to do a proper post in a way that's the easiest and repeatable and scalable. So I can just do it without having to think about it, because I don't want it to be like not having to think about it, but to do it in a way that doesn't require so much mental energy. And it's like, I don't want it to be too long, I don't want it to be too short that people are like, why have you bothered? So I just find that sometimes the easiest thing to do is just like post to stories to be like, here's where I am, here's what I'm doing, that's great. But it would be nice to get back to posting more regularly. But completely with you, I think it's a self-care thing of like, you have to prioritise yourself and the people around you and other things as well. Prioritise yourself. When I say people around you, I mean like you're spending time with the people around you and not just committing yourself and spreading yourself thin. Not
being that person that's just sitting there on your phone the entire time instead of talking to your husband.
It's like, I'm just doing something. I'm just
doing something. Go read a book about. Go and read cute books about demons whose favourite flavour is pumpkin spice. I mean, that's what I'm doing at the minute.
That's a deep cut reference, because you just told me about that off air, and that's great, and I love it.
How to fake The Witch's Guide to Fake Dating a Demon. I recommend this book.
I kind of want to read it now, just because. And then it was like, I was going to see Jack. I had to go see Steve-O. I had to go see Steve-O. I chose to go see Steve-O. So I was like,
I went and saw Buffy revamped. It was hilarious. If you're a Buffy fan and you see this out there, it's a one-man show that goes through the whole 7 seasons of Buffy. It is hilarious. I laughed for 70 minutes straight. Go watch that. It's so good.
If you follow Buffy, it's probably been advertised to you, because it's been advertised to you so many times. I've got this signed Steve-O book. I've got a hard kick in the nuts, and it's signed by him, and his signature looks like a peen.
He has literally done that on purpose.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. And I was like, that's great. And I saw so many
self-care.
I saw one person's private parts a lot of times. But it appealed to like the youth in me. It was like, I was like, oh. And some people will probably go, he is terrible, and I'm like, oh, but it's the nostalgia. So we went to go see. I got to see that with my really wholesome colleague. It was really great. I was like, I've converted him. He was like, can you get me a poster? And I was like, I was in the queue, and he's like, can I have a poster, please? And I was like, you may.
Amazing.
So yeah, it's that kind of self care. Whether you're watching someone get kicked in the nuts hardcore, or you're watching someone do a one man show of Buffy. Whatever's your bag,
just do it. If you're watching trash TV, like we're currently working our way through the new series of Too Hot to Handle on Netflix. Like, do all the things.
And I think, like you said, the people that care will still be there.
Yeah.
But ultimately, this is my like probably unpopular opinion, if they're not still there, I just don't care. Like,
oh well.
Does it pay my bills? It does not. Does it, keep my relationship in a good place? It does not. Like, there's a lot more important for me, and I can't say it forever, because some people it does pay their bills. For me, that is just a fun hobby I get to share and interact with people I love. But at the end of the day, it stops becoming fun if it's a chore.
Yeah.
Especially if you're not getting paid. Like, if you're getting paid, I can see the motivation. If you're not getting paid, please take your mental health breaks, your brain breaks. You know, I am one of my things that we can talk about later is I'm first mental health first aid certified now, and it's like what's in your control, what is in your realm of control, and giving yourself the time and space you need is so important. So take that time and don't just be a slave to something because you're like, if I don't do this, think about if I don't do this, what happens now? If you don't do this, you lose followers? What does that mean?
Sometimes you don't even.
And go from there. Sometimes, sometimes they weren't worth it.
Yeah.
Sometimes they were probably bots that followed you.
Yeah.
Like I know
True
I've
story.
had. But yeah, that's me off my soapbox. Should we move on to another beer and another segment?
Yeah, let's. Right, what beer have you got?
So, I have got Strange Times, Boudica's Chariot.
Oh, good choice. I need to drink mine.
This was one which this was meant to be their International Women's Collaboration Brew Day beer of 2023, and then they had some issues which meant that they only had a set amount of cans of it, and if you went on and you donated money, you'd get 2 cans, and you would get a lovely mug that I've got over there with the artwork that's on the label. Now if you're watching the video, that is the artwork, and it is,
the artwork is
absolutely gorgeous.
I
already had one.
I've not had it yet.
The reason that I've chosen to have this one is because it's the second one, it's the last one, and it has a best before of July 2023.
Yeah.
And I was like, I want to have it, and you know what? International Women's Collaboration Brew Day, like, that was the end of Q1. We got it in Q2, so it's a Q2 beer. It's not ticking off any goals for me. I just wanted it. What about
That's
you?
a good choice. So I am drinking a Mash Gang and Northern Monk collab, Gary's Fizzy Army. It's got a really cute label.
I do like that.
Looks like sweets and things on it. It looks like Vimto. It tastes like fizzy Vimto. I'm enjoying it. And of course, because it's Mash Gang, it is alcohol free. It's a blueberry, cherry, pineapple, passion fruit, fruited ale.
Look at you go.
Nice.
Mine's 4.2%, so I've just gone from 8.5% to 4.2%.
Well,
so
I've got another beer sat here that we'll talk about shortly, so I'm balancing it out.
brilliant. Okay, well, I guess I will ask the first question.
Go on then.
So we're going through. Do you want to recap on what the drink harder is?
Yeah, so this is the Drink Harder Challenge. We found it through Katie's Beer Score on Instagram. They had put it together for their regulars and anyone else that wanted to take part. It's a bunch of different kind of prompts for you to try during 2023 to kind of broaden your horizons, maybe in beer tasting and drink tasting. And it looked like fun, so we thought we'd have a go, didn't we?
We did.
We
got permission to post and share and talk about it, and go check it out. We thought it would just be a really fun thing to do together, because it's like that thing of like you can metric it and you don't have to be together, but you can also enjoy it together. So yeah. Shall I ask you the first one? We'll just alternate. The first one is drink a flight at a brewery you've never been to.
I am finding this one so hard to complete. Because when I go to let's be real, I've been to a lot of breweries.
True.
Let's be real. And when I go to a new brewery, they're not always doing flights. So I'm not able to tick it off. Like, come on, people. Why aren't you doing flights? They're my fave.
I think it's worth saying as well that basically, obviously, because this is a US challenge, some of the stuff is obviously very US centric.
Yes.
I would say that the majority in the US, the majority of breweries, you can get flights. Over here, it's a little bit hit and miss because you can get flight-sized glasses.
Yeah.
It's not sold as a flight. It's not always sold as a flight. So I think in the first quarter, I mentioned about how I was like, does it count? Because I went to a brewery and I had I had 3 or 4 flight-sized beers.
Yeah.
But then I decided I'm hard on myself. I was like, no, it does not count.
Yeah.
It has to be ordered. It has to say flight.
Yeah.
What I'm ordering.
And I feel like bars tend to do more flights here than breweries do. But yeah, that one's proving hard. No, I have not completed it yet. Have you?
I have.
Oh, where did you complete it?
With you.
Where?
We went to Hamilton.
Oh,
Brewery.
yes. Hamilton do them.
2 flights. We got 2 flights. So I got there was the cherry morello sour, the don't quit vanilla pecan pie stout.
Yeah.
Tank 3. There was an imperial stout. There was a nitrous. Oh, it was great.
We had a great time. I've been there already though.
All of it. Yeah, you had been there already.
I've been there before, so it doesn't count.
We had 2 flights. No, we actually had 4 flights.
4 flights, yeah, because we had 2 each.
Yeah, and we shared all of them. So
yeah,
it was great.
Yeah, it was great. We had a great time. That was a good day.
It was a really good day. Although,
happy birthday to me.
Arguably, because we went to Hamilton, we were late to. I don't think that's necessarily why we were late. There was many other things that were happening at that time. That just there was massive gig going on. It was fine. Our plans were flexible that day. I think we flexed them. We flexed them a bit more than we'd planned to, but we both got home on time, so it was fine. It was also because we found another brewery along the way.
Yes,
and
we found another brewery.
That was not in our plans.
No,
but it was great. I don't regret it.
We had a good day. I regret nothing.
Right. I never regret anything.
No. Prompt 2: drink a beer that's been in your fridge longer. So we've both done this one. We did this one on our last Q1 episode. Yes. So we've both completed that one.
Siren?
Yeah, yours was Siren. Mine was Old Dairy. So I'm going to skip that because if you haven't, if you're not sure, go back and listen to our Q1 episode. Drink each beer out of a mix pack. Have you done that yet?
I still haven't done that yet because I think you're willing to be more flexible with it. I'm not willing to be flexible.
That's because you're going to the US.
But then I'm also going to the US. But I can hook you up. Don't worry. You say it like I don't.
Right, like you're not going to bring me home. You're not going to bring me home here.
Oh, this is amazing. You need to have it as well. Like, at a minimum, I'm like, here's the thing I'm bringing home, even if it's one bottle, and I'm like, we will share it together.
Yeah. I've got my backup plan, which is
talk about
my box of 8 good chemistry beers that I got from Bruiser. That is my backup plan. I feel like that is more hardcore than doing a mix pack, which is like 4 different beers.
So it depends, because you can get some that really weird. Like I feel like over here we sell them in I don't know, in the US it's normally like either 6 packs when it's not craft, or it's like when you have craft that is more feels like it's bigger, you get 6 packs. You're like, I'll just grab a 6 pack. I feel like that's just an American thing. Or smaller batch, it's like 4s. Like you get a pack of 4. So I think artisanal ales, when I got the Sour Patch Kids one, it came in a 4-pack.
Oh yeah.
So you can get 4s as opposed to, it's just when you get big ones, like you get the Sam Adams or the Blue Moon or whatever, that you get the seasonal packs. I do love
those. I love the seasonal packs.
12s and
I do love
seasonal
those.
packs are so good. The problem is like, when you get the best Sam Adams one, it's like you get the Porch Rocker, which is amazing, Oktoberfest, which is amazing. Like, people can say what they want about Sam Adams.
No, I love it.
Shit on it all you want.
Pecan pie porter. Come on.
There's a Fezziwig. There's one called Fezziwig.
There was
something or other. Really good.
There was an old cherry ale at one point. Oh, I've had so many good ones. Anyway,
say what you want.
My backup is my Good Chem 8-pack. So I've started. Crack the first one. Here we go.
Right. Well, okay, there we go. 4, so we're 4 now, aren't we? Drink a lineup where each beer starts with a letter of your name until you can spell out your whole first name.
So I had got the beers organised for this last time, but I hadn't drunk them all. But I have drunk all of the beers now for this. So my J was Jormungandr from Loki. My O was Obi-Wan Cannoli from Brew York. My A was Apple Sewer from Vilt City. My N was Nanola IPA from Wild Beer. My second N was Ninth Wave from White Hag. And my E was Espresso Berry Teeny from Yonder. Boom. Did it. Now, you were extending yourself on this one, weren't you? Have you done that?
It's because I decided that I was like, you know what, Tori's too easy. Let's not do that. We will go Victoria. That's only used when I'm angry or not me being angry. Someone's
When
mad
you're
at
in
me,
trouble.
or like
It's when you're in trouble.
my mum. Yeah. When I'm in trouble, when my mum's mad at me or something's happened, like.
I triple named someone at work the other day because they did something, and they were like, "I'm in trouble." I'm like, "Yes, you are."
Yeah, I never get first named. Even at work, we all agree that when my full name comes up, because for some reason there's one thing that shows my whole name, we're all like, "Who's that?" I was like, "It is me.
Oh, that's me.
It is I." So I did all of my whole full first name, my legal given name, in the first quarter. So I decided I was going to do my whole middle name, which is Bridget, and I thought if I get through with that, I'll go to Powell, and if I get through with Powell, I'll go to Iovani, which is my maiden name. And I feel like I'm doxing myself here, but yeah. So I thought, and if I do all that before the end of the year, I'll go into doing breweries with those first letters.
Ooh.
So I made it through all of Bridget.
Good job.
which is I did birthday bourbon, which was a siren. I also tried to make sure that in the same time I didn't repeat too much.
Okay.
So actually, let's scratch that from the record because I don't want to repeat breweries where I don't have to. I did Boston Bakewell from Camper Van Brewery, which was a chocolate, cherry and almond milk stout.
Nice.
For R, I did Raspberry Vanilla Lollipop from Vault City. I did Imperial Bueno Shake from Unbarred. D, I did Don't Quit for Hamilton. G, I did Got to Dance, which was Miracai's. It was like an older oat cream IPA. E, I did Exquisite Corpse from Siren, which was a consequential IPA, which was actually a really, really interesting one because they basically did, they polled a bunch of people and they picked the ingredients, and that was like a whole really interesting one in itself. I did have a backup for that if I used Siren too many times, but I seemed to get a backup for all of them. So the backup of that was Everything Peachy from Polly's. T times 10, which was the 100-day Hellas that we did. But again, my backup for that, if I used Siren again, was the Dude Abides from Brew York. But I felt like that was a little bit cheating because it was a...
It was a the.
But then I had a third backup, which was Their Wolf from Pomona Island. So it was all good. I covered all bases, just in case I wanted to be extra brutal on myself.
Oh, God.
So yeah, that was all of Bridget. And then I started on Powell, and I've done P, which is Plan B from Mysterious Brewing, which was an American pale. So Mysterious is a newer local brewery that's popped up, run by a really, really lovely guy called Ken. He did the painting on the wall at Elusive. So Ken is fab. Went to the launch at the Hive and had Plan B.
Nice.
We had O, which was, I did put one lager from Miracai. I've done a whole other bunch of O ones, but I just thought I picked the Miracai one. W, I've not done yet, but maybe that's a Q3er for later in this episode. We'll see. And then I've done E, which was Eton Mess, and that was S43. It was a sour from S43. The first L was Liquid State from Burnt Mill. That was the West Coast IPA. And then I did Lyris from Elusive, which is a pale ale.
Nice.
So I've
Good
managed
job.
to
Done
do
your entire
everything but
name.
one, so I'm gonna, well, yeah, maybe. We'll see. We'll see what the end of this. We'll see if a W comes up before the end of this. And if I have, I'll move to my maiden name, and then I will, because I think that's the hardest one.
Yeah.
That one's definitely the hardest one to do.
Yeah.
And then I'll circle back round to the start and just try to do breweries as the first name. So
Just an overachiever.
I am. What can I say?
Goodness. All right. Number 5. Buy a stranger's beer or split a bottle with a stranger. No, I haven't done this either. I've not done this yet.
It's really hard. I find it's really hard into. Although, no, I've not done it. I've absolutely not done it.
I might do it at a bottle share soon, if I get a chance to go to a bottle share.
Yeah. When I go to this bottle share, I probably will. But do you count it as a stranger? I guess this is a question. Would you count it as a stranger if I've seen this person online, but I've never met them in person?
Have you spoken to them, like chatted to them online?
Only in regards to the bottle share.
Then I would say...
And I probably have, but not a conversation, just like general comments on a Facebook page.
I think you can count them as a stranger. Yeah.
All right.
So. Yeah, no, I haven't done that yet. Prompt number 6. Drink a beer from 10 different countries.
So I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 in the first episode if we were counting.
Oh yeah, you did.
The UK.
Yeah.
But since then, I have also had, so I've done 12 then, if we count that. So I've had Netherlands. So I had a beer called Oedipus. And then I had Italy, which was beer Baladin. So
nice.
And I've got some more beers as well that I've got. Not sure if I've ticked them off or not, but we'll see. But we'll see what the coming months bring. But I think I've at least got 1 or 2 more. How about you?
Yeah, so I think I've just completed this. So I had Czech Republic, Budvar Reserve, Ukraine, Back to Black from Varvar. I had, for Belgium, I had Duvel 666. For Scotland, I had Squirrel from Fierce. For France, I had Lupalia from Galabia. From Estonia, I had Cosmos from Hala. For Norway, I had House Party from Lervig. For Germany, I had Augustina Helles the other day. For the US, I had down Great Notion or Ra or Burley Oak, and I think I've had all 3 of those. And for number 10, I had Ireland and Rye River from theirs. I had some more Rye River the other day because I might have been hanging out with the brewer for work and had some of their... they did a collab with Siren that was a
really?
pink lemonade sour, and it was delicious. Yeah. So yes, I have completed that one.
So what if you just gave me 2 more to add to my list that I didn't realise that I needed to count because they weren't on there? And also I just had Burley Oak literally a few days ago as well. It was good. Yeah, I've just added Czechia.
Yeah.
So we had the Budvar, we had 2 other...
We did.
Czech breweries. And Germany. I didn't have Germany on there. Because I was like, oh, probably towards Oktoberfest season. But then we did the Helles episode. So I've got the Augustiner as well. So the list is still growing. That's
still
14
going.
Total
Still
I've
going.
done then.
I mean, I can add some more. I've also done Spain because I've had... Oh, well, I had a bunch from Spain. I had Marina while I was in Spain. And also Italy. I had Vetra Black.
But you also had the beer of Baladin as well.
I also had beer of Baladin, yeah. And yeah, there'll be a couple of others that I'll talk about later. That's for something later on. We'll talk about.
Okay, fair enough. But yeah, I've just gone into tracking everything now because.
Oh, yeah, just keep adding to it. All right, I'm going to start doing that as well then.
So I think
right.
7. So
yes.
I'll go 7 now, which is beer made for a charity or cause. I think we already both smashed that one, being like Brave Noise all the time.
Yeah.
All day, every day.
All the Brave Noises.
Number 8, drinking old favourite you haven't enjoyed in a while. Did you do that on the I know I did that on the first one. Did you do that on the
No, I
first one?
didn't, because I was still contemplating what I wanted to do for that, and I think I still I can't decide what I want to do. I might look back through my Untapped and see what some of the first things that I checked in, see if I can get some of those, or I might go back and see, because I used to drink, when I first started in craft beer, there wasn't all these bottle shops and things and online where you could get things like, we were getting stuff from the supermarket. So I drank a lot of real ale, so maybe I need to dip into some of the hobgoblins, although they are not what they used to be since they got taken over by Marston's. But maybe one of those. I haven't decided that. That one's ongoing for me, is the
amount of times
short answer.
I was searching for the hobgoblin pumpkin one. And they
don't make anymore. They don't make anymore.
No, but I never had it, and I remember
when they did make it,
that one is amazing. Hard. And then you'd go into the supermarket and you'd go, oh, here it is, because it would have a jester that had the pumpkin on it, and you'd be like, oh, cool. And then you buy it, and you're like, oh no, it's not the pumpkin one. And it would just be really annoying, because it was the same colour.
Because it was just hobgoblin with a
it's not the one
rebranded,
not the one.
No.
Rebranded for Halloween, really infuriating. Recap is I already did it, and I did Looper from Full Circle at the Rutland Arms when I was there. Had it on cask, really interesting.
Nice.
Number 9, so I'll skip that. I'll ask you the next one. So, have you got in a growler filled at a brewery?
No, I don't even have a growler. You were going to buy me one for my birthday. No, I don't. And you were going to buy me one for my birthday, and you didn't.
I forgot. Okay, Christmas. Get you a Christmas growler. Oh,
You've done that. Have you done that recently?
I forgot. No, I haven't.
Oh, you still haven't done it either. Oh.
No, because there was a few times when I was going to, and then I didn't in the end because I didn't need to. And then I was going to a wedding that was about 40 or so minutes from where Dale was. And I was like, I will bring the growlers with me and I will stop at Dale on the way home because we were going to have a barbecue anyway. So that was my plan. I was like, I'll go to Dale. Nice. Great. But when I'm away from home and I was by myself, so I was with someone I work with, in the sense of like, this person was at the wedding as well, and I had to make sure I got them back to their car before, but I was by myself, like, as in Rick wasn't with. So I woke up stupid early and was just like, cool. I don't sleep well when I'm not at home.
Yeah, same.
Anyways, and if I'm in a hotel, I don't eat breakfast. I just want to get up early, get a coffee, and drive home. So I sort of got up so early to a point, and he was ready to go back to his car so early that I was like, they don't open till 12.
Yeah.
I can faff about here. And I was like, but that's like, it was going to work out to like 2 hours of just killing time. And I was like, I'd rather go back home. So yeah, I didn't go in the end. But that was going to be my plan. Still on the list, sadly.
All right. So have a beer cocktail. You did that on the last episode.
I did indeed. And I think you did as well, didn't you?
No, I don't think I did. And I don't think I have done. There was somewhere we were going that had beer cocktails. And I was like, I'll get a beer cocktail there. We didn't end up going. Yeah, we didn't end up going to the place with the beer cocktail. So I have not done that yet.
In London and we didn't go.
We were, and we didn't go there. So I have not done that yet. Might just have to make my own. I've just read a really good book called Girly Drinks. Highly recommend.
You did recommend it to me.
I've recommended it to you. It is about the history of women in alcohol. The writer is brilliant. And that talks not just about beer, but about women in spirits and wine and stuff as well. And I was feeling quite inspired after reading that to like maybe look for some of the spirits that were mentioned in the book and do something. Cause like, and it also talks about like female bartenders and how like women weren't allowed to be bartenders, but they, overcame it and stuff like that. So like, might be inspired by that and make myself a beer cocktail at some point, but I haven't done it yet. Still on my list. Enjoy a beer featuring a noble hop, a beer featuring a US hop, a beer featuring a New Zealand hop or an Australian hop, and a beer featuring an experimental hop. Had you done this last time?
I did all of them except, so the experimental hop, I was like, I'm fairly certain I did have that, but I can't find which one it was. But I was very confident that actually I had it.
Yeah.
At least if I hadn't had it by the point of the episode, I had already pulled it out and was ready to have it.
Yeah.
But I can't find for the life of me which one it was, so I've left it as undone. But I also did split out New Zealand and Australian because I thought, you know what, I'm gonna go big.
Same.
And again, I think I had done the New Zealand side of things because I had Elusive's Element, which is dry hopped with Ruaka.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I will have so Galaxy, it's an Australian hop. I was like, I've definitely had that. I just don't know where I can't pinpoint a specific beer, and I've had so many beers that it's really hard for me to go back through. So
yeah,
I need to tick off the Australian one still, and so I want to tick off the Australian one to a point that I know 100% this is the one I've had, and the same thing with the experimental hop, and I've just lost track of those. How about
I might have a beer for you for that.
Okay.
Here,
what, for both?
But, no, just for the Australian. I don't think I've got an experimental one for you. I've definitely got an Australian one for you sat here. I extended this for myself, and I said I was going to do a US, a Noble, a New Zealand, an Australian, a UK, a South African, an experimental, and a new tech.
So that as well, then.
So I've not quite completed it yet, although I have the beers, I just haven't drunk them. For US, I had Brutish Mutants from Cloak and Dagger, which had Talus in it. For the Noble, I've had Budvar Original with SARS in it. R.I.P. SARS. Doom and gloom over here, SARS.
Don't R.I.P. it yet.
It's not gone yet.
It's not. The body's not even cold. It's on life support. It's on life support.
Still there.
Just donate. Donate your blood. Donate your plasma. Don't.
I want people to just, be ready. Be ready. For New
It's not
Zealand,
like, do not resuscitate. We're doing our best.
for New Zealand, I had Hops Obscura. I can't remember. I think that had Nelson in it. For Australian, I had Galaxy Crush from Brass Castle. For experimental, I had Disturbance in the Fence, which was a collaboration between Staggeringly Good, Emperors, and Bathhouse X, and that had HBC 522 in it. And then for new technology in hops, I had the Perfect Circle from Track, which used Spectrum, which is a liquid hop. I've still got to go. I've still got to do my UK one, and I've got Perennial from Gypsy Hill, which is maybe UK hops, and I've got Echo IPA from that's got South African hops in it. So I need to drink those, especially as I've had the Echo one for a little while. I need to drink that.
I've definitely done the South African.
Yeah.
I've definitely done the new tech because we had VIP, because I would consider VIP person, which had Phantasm to be.
And you've also had Liquid State, which had Flex and Incognito in it. So
I'm gonna mark that as a Q2 because I've definitely had new tech.
Okay.
I've definitely had South African because I had a Tolakazi, because that is that South African? I need to remind myself if that's South African or not. If the hops that was in that was South
I can't remember because it's a sorghum pills now.
There was something else that I'm going to double check that.
Yeah.
Double check that because I also have had Echoes.
Yeah.
so I'm double check which one I've got. Galaxy, the worst part is I know because I love Galaxy. I know I've had it a million times over. So
I've got a beer for you with Galaxy in it. Don't panic.
I just know that I've had it, and that's the worst part. So
but I've got a new one for you.
And the UK hops, I've definitely had that. I just need to pinpoint which one I've had. So we'll see. We'll check. I'll
that's
update
a good
for
one.
Next time.
I like that one.
It's good. I like your stretch goals. I'm
yeah. Well, I mean, I feel like I've got a stretch on hops, haven't I?
Yeah. So you can give us more doom and gloom. Number 12,
right.
Visited Distillery.
Yes, I visited the Foundry. You need to come and visit me so I can take you to the Foundry.
I tried to get in the Foundry. They are not dog friendly.
No, they're not. You've got to come visit me. You need to come visit me, and then we can go. I had their.
I didn't know they were a distillery.
Yeah, I had their apple pie moonshine. It was good.
That. I'm in.
I know. I took a picture of it and sent it to you at the time, and was just like, "You will like this."
I'm in. 100%. All right, we'll skip that one because I definitely haven't, and apparently I will because that is amazing.
Yeah.
Drink a beer you've never had that is your favourite style. I did one in Q1 and Q2.
Yeah,
so
good job.
I'm just picking different favourite styles.
So one of my favourite styles is Saison. I had a Daya Saison. I had their Heritage Saison. It was delicious. I had it for my birthday. It was great.
I did a sour in the first quarter, which was double barreled. What Mrs. Fletcher knows. I still have 2 cans of that because I still got you one. I got one because I wanted to put one in the slushy machine. I'm not going to lie to you.
Have you got slushied it yet?
One for Rick, but Rick doesn't. He just tends to have what I have, so really it was kind of like a bonus for me, and I just haven't opened it yet. And I thought because they're the sours, they'll last a little bit longer, and they are one of my favourite. It is so good. It tastes like peach cobbler, like 2AT. So I've just held off on cracking those open. But then in Q2 I did Zuka, which was a pumpkin beer from Beer Baladin. So that's when we went into London.
Yeah. So
I want to try to do because I don't think I've got a top favourite style because I just like so much. So I'm every quarter I want to try to get a different style that I love, something from that style. So
that's cool. I might do that too.
What will Q3 be? I don't know.
Right, so host a beer themed share with your friends. I haven't done that yet. I don't know whether I'm going to have time to fit that in.
We're going to have to just do something, aren't we? Maybe like Oktoberfest. Maybe we can do an Oktoberfest one.
Yeah. We're going to have to invite other people than us, though. Otherwise, I don't think it counts if it's just me and you.
It doesn't say a minimum count. It says
with your friends.
It specifically says, okay, we get one more person. It's fine. Then there's double digits.
Rick,
you could do that.
Gordon,
you come to us. You guys come to us. We'll be like, it's a share. It's cool. We've got
amazing.
Other people.
Yeah, we have friends. We have other friends that aren't just me and you.
You make it sound like all the people we've got on either side are just us.
It's just that all of our friends are all over the place. Like, we have friends in many places.
We got people near you. We got people near me. It's fine.
We'll we can make it this work. We can make this work.
We can do. Both of us can do it in one go.
Yeah.
We've got friends.
Right, go on a brewery tour. Have you done a brewery tour? I'd already did it in Q1.
I haven't, but I've got one scheduled. Sorry, I'm still laughing for the fact that you were like, we need more than 2 people, and I was like, friends, shit, that's multiple. We can do this.
You've got friends.
No, I've got a brewery tour. If anyone wants to be my friend, you can find me on Instagram. Like I said earlier, I read my messages. If you want to come to a themed party, there might be one being hosted in the upcoming months. I don't know. But yeah, I've got a brewery tour. I'm not going to say it until, but I've got one scheduled in that what I will say about it was really cool is someone I work with who I consider a friend. I've got one friend. We've had a conversation. We are friends. It's official. And her partner's like getting into craft beer and is, kind of going around the local breweries and stuff. And wanted to do a tour for his birthday. So she wanted to get him a tour for his birthday. And she's like, would you guys go? And I was like, absolutely.
Yeah.
So I do have a tour booked in. But I won't say where until we actually did it.
So I went on a brewery tour of Brampton with our lovely friend Rachel, because that's where she works now. And I also got a little tour of Lost and Grounded when I popped in one day. And I recently, for work, did a brewery tour at Brewboard in Cambridge, which was lovely.
Showing off. She's just showing off. Guess what? I walked around to where Elusive's kit is. I hugged a tank.
I did that at the beginning of the year, so.
All right, show off.
Yeah, so that was nice because we brought our German colleagues over and showed them a craft beer brewery, and it was great. Can highly recommend Brewboard's tour. They were lovely.
Hear more about this on our lager episode whenever it comes out. Maybe it's already out. Maybe it's not out yet. We don't know yet.
Yeah. Bring a friend to a brewery you enjoy that they have never been to. I did this.
I'm still laughing because you were like, bring a friend. I was like, I have friends.
Tori was my friend, and I took her to Beer Ballad in Camden.
The worst part is mine was in Q1. I was like, I took Rick to Heist. Does that count? So it's like I took Rick to Heist. And then my Q2 was, well, I took Joe to Brew by Numbers, but I don't know if that counts because we were going to an event there, so I didn't really take you there.
We're just telling everyone that we got no friends. We do have friends.
I have friends. I have gone to Elusive with my friend from work. I've invited my friend from work's husband, who I consider a friend. I invited him to Elusive. He came to Elusive, and I met up with them at Siren as well. So I feel like, can I count that? I didn't really say like, can I take you here, please? But again, that wasn't. I was like, I took everyone to Ascot Brewery, and I was like, but that wasn't me that did that. That was like, I was just because I had a project coordinator hat on, I was like, nobody's making moves. I will book the place. But someone else suggested it, and I was like, yeah, it's a great venue. I did take her husband to the Hive as well. So I took her husband to like a few places. Does that count?
Friends? Yeah, sure. We have friends.
We have friends. Like, I took my husband, and then I took Joe. So many friends.
Oh dear.
Again, if you want to reply to me, either of our friends, our email is awomansbrewpodcast@gmail.com. If you want to meet up, if you want to go to more breweries that you've never been to before and you're willing to travel, we'll probably travel to you because we need friends, or you want to go to a themed party, please feel free. But
let us know.
Email us. Anyways, number 17, because I'm not going to cry. Drink 2 beers, one that meets Reinheitsgebot and a variant that breaks it. Now, I thought we did this.
I don't think we
in
did.
this last quarter, but we're not 100% sure.
No.
So let's call it unofficial because we don't know.
I don't think we did. So
do you want to explain why I originally thought we might have?
So we've just recorded, you may have already listened to one may be upcoming. We've just recorded some lager episodes. So obviously the Reinheitsgebot is a purity law that was put in place in Germany, and it says that beers could only be brewed with water, hops, barley and yeast. Nothing else. So a lot of your very traditional German lagers are to the Reinheitsgebot. So we've drunk we drank Helles recently, a German Helles that you will find out about on the episode when it comes out. And then we had some other ones that were made closer to home, and Tori's like, yeah, they're a variant. And I'm like, nope.
No, but I could have sworn that there was because they didn't taste like so much. I was like, there's something different. I bet.
No, I think I've actually got the cans here, and I'm
Pillars was the only
sure.
one that I was like, there's a chance that one is on the fence, but I'm not convinced.
That one is not. Water, barley, hops, yeast. No, and the Pillars was water, hops, barley, yeast. So no, they are. I don't believe so.
Now, like I'm double checking this because I feel like I've definitely I've probably had one that had something else in it, but I don't know.
I think this one's gonna be hard because
nobody's gonna taint.
Well, yeah, I feel like a lot of like your lager beers tend to be very straight down the line purity law anyway.
Not to give a spoiler, I was like, the new hotness, that could be the one, and then I looked and was like, no, it's the most by the book out of all of them.
Yeah, I feel like we need like a bock that's got an interesting adjunct in it.
Leave it with me.
Okay. That one feels hard, but yeah.
It feels hard, but it doesn't.
Although, just wait till we get to 19, because that one's going to be really hard. 18, attend a beer fest. Tickety tick tick tick. We've done that a lot.
So many.
So many beer fests. So many. So I'm skipping right over that to 19, which I think is another hard one, which is drink a beer that has medalled at FOBAB and a beer that has medalled at GABF.
It makes me laugh every time we say FOBAB, because it feels like it's like shorthand for something really rude, even though it's not. It's FOBAB. Like, I couldn't even think in my brain of what I would think would be rude, but FOBAB feels rude. I think we were going to potentially look at maybe having that replaced with like some SIBA awards or some Indie Feast winners, or like a few, like we're going to try to pick two different
we need to find
things. We just haven't agreed on that yet.
A UK competition. So. We need to agree on a UK competition.
Next one is number 20. So that is drink a whiskey drink, a vodka drink, a lager drink, and a cider drink in one sitting.
I don't want to do it.
I think we've been putting this one off. I think I've done a cocktail with vodka in it after having a beer, and I had a sip of an old fashioned. I know it wasn't a lager. It wasn't a lager. It was just a beer.
That's no good. That doesn't count. I don't know. I
think I could probably do cocktails.
Yeah,
which are like, I could go cocktail variants and do this.
I don't know if I want to do a lager and a cider.
That's aggressive.
Oof. That is aggressive. We'll see how we get with that one. I don't think that one's going to happen.
I'm going to do it just because I'm a completionist. I'm not going to
but also you don't get hangovers like I do, so we're not. I'm not playing that game. So rude. 21. Use beer in your food as part of a recipe. I do this all the time. I've had beer pizza dough several times. I've made beer brownies loads of times. Completed it, mate.
I've done it historically. I just haven't done it as of late. So I still haven't done it this year. Would you count... This is going to be a really, like, technicality question.
Okay.
Would you count it if I was roasting a chicken or making barbecue and I didn't use it in the marinade, but I used it as a means to keep the meat moist? As in, like, I put it in a spray bottle and I sprayed the meat, because that's what I do.
Yeah.
Is instead of me, like, when you baste something, instead of doing that, I would spray it.
Yeah, that's still basting.
Fine, then I have definitely done that.
Yeah.
I've made roast. I think I've made like roast chicken or like it was a barbecue
Yeah.
dry rub, and then ribs. I've definitely done it with ribs.
Oh, there we go.
Where I've used the beer on the ribs to keep them moist. So there we go. Done.
Tickety tick. 22.
Happy days.
Buy someone a drink on their birthday.
I did that for you.
You did. Yeah, I haven't bought anybody a drink on their birthday. I need to sort that out.
I bought you multiple drinks.
You did.
Brewery.
You did.
So there we go. I was like tick, tick, and tick. I got you multiple drinks in there.
You did. It was a good day.
It was. Can we just take a moment to just say, like, Three Locks was effing excellent.
Yeah.
That was
properly stumbled upon it.
The brewery. That was the brewery that arguably was our flexible visit. That threw us off of our day.
Properly flexed it.
It was flexed.
Yeah.
But actually, really enjoyed it, and I'm glad we stopped there.
Yeah. We need to go back and get some more strawberry lace sour because it was good stuff.
100%.
Yeah.
So you've not bought anyone a beer for their birthday?
No, I don't believe I have. No, I don't think I have.
Not to suggest that you don't have any other friends, but my birthday's coming up in November. If you wanna come round, if I do drink for my birthday, you could come round for my birthday and buy me a drink.
I mean,
not that I'm suggesting that
we don't have any friends. Oh my god!
And I think when we did this one, I was like, "What does it count if I buy Rick a drink?" We were like, "No, it doesn't." And I was like, "No, he's my friend." Number what is it? 23. Drink the most and least expensive drink on the menu.
Now we tried to do this, didn't we? And I don't think we were very successful.
So we tried to do it, but also we were very conscious that we couldn't double count places.
Yeah.
But I want to say, I've done it.
Where did you do it?
Have you done it?
No.
Before I say it, have you done it? You've
No.
not done it. I think we were like, we're going to do it when we're in London. And then I think some of the time we were like, oh no, we're not.
Yeah, we're not doing that.
Because like some of the places in London, it was like, because it's just the drink on the menu.
Yeah.
It's not, doesn't have to be a beer. It's just like, which is the cheapest and the most expensive? And some of the most expensive ones, it was like, bottle of wine. That is very expensive. No. And we were like, no.
No.
So I did it.
Where did you do it?
Elusive.
Of course you did.
Because their cheapest drink on the menu, for £1, you can get yourself a San Pellegrino orange.
Oh.
I didn't even go with the tap water option, which you probably could have done.
Yeah.
But I did the cheapest one, which was San Pellegrino orange, £1.
Yeah. What was the most expensive?
I think I did this at their birthday, potentially. And then I said, I wrote a note that said cheapest drink on the menu outside of free water. Then I did. Oh no, I did this when Unbarred had not a tap taker, but they had a tasting event. Matt went.
Okay.
Anyone that's listened to us, Matt used to work at Siren. He was on our podcast with Siren. He now works at Unbarred, and he was holding a tasting for some Unbarred beers. And then I had on the menu Corvallis, which was the Unbarred collaboration with Elusive, and that was the most expensive thing they had on the menu, which was, I think it was like £7 a pint or something like that. But I got a half pint. A half pint, but technically
you bought the most expensive drink.
Thing on the menu.
Yeah.
So
that'll count. I'll allow it.
Did it? I think technically, if you looked at all the half pints, like that's the most expensive thing. So yeah. Number 24. Go to a dive bar and drink the beer from the brewery they have a sign for.
I have not done that yet.
I did it, and then you took issue.
I did. So interestingly, there is a article in Hop Culture magazine, which I'm just going to find now. That is their favourite dive bars in the US. But what I found interesting about it was that they talk about what constitutes as a dive bar.
Okay, yeah.
What makes a great dive bar. So they said that the characteristics that they think makes a great dive bar are cheap drinks, a seasoned bar, i.e. scuffed, unpolished or nicked, paint jobs dating back several decades, ripped bar stools and or vinyl booths, a dartboard or other bar games, chatty, mostly local clientele, low lighting, Christmas lights and neon lights, grimy bathrooms with incredible, outrageous writing and graffiti on the walls.
100%. The only thing then that you are not allowing me to say is that I got a Guinness, because literally there was Christmas lights up at this bar. Like there is, there's no booths, but we don't really have booths like that.
We don't really have booths over here, no. I'll allow that.
Stalls, everything, like yes, all of this to a T. It's always like, call this number for a fun time on the toilet stalls, or like John Big Penis or something like that written on the wall. Yes. It is literally like this is to a T, and the only thing you're discrediting me for is because you feel like it's not fair for me to say Guinness because they had a Guinness sign, and you're like, yeah, but that's too easy. It doesn't matter if it's too easy. I did it.
Fine. I've got to find a dive bar. I might be able to do it when I'm in the US. If you want me to
stretch goal it, I'll stretch goal it. Like, that's fine, but I definitely did it.
I might be able to find a proper dive bar in the US when I'm there.
You will. 100%. Or just when you come here to see me next, I can take you to many. Or next time we're both in Bristol. Got it. Got you covered.
Sorted.
Bristol's like the home of the dive bar.
That's the Drink Harder Challenge, everybody. Let us know if you're taking part and how far you got. We'd like to know.
We're nearly done. We're nearly done with that.
Yeah, we're nearly done.
All right. Last beers.
And we're
going to just put a nice little bow around everything we've just talked about.
So my last beer is one of my breweries I'm trying to drink this year, and it is from Sinister. It is one of their 7 Seas Imperial Stouts, and it is the Gulf of Mexico, which is a Heaven Hill Bourbon Barrel-Aged Stout. It's a lot. It's a good job it's Saturday afternoon. Cheers.
Yeah. I feel like I'm on a roll now, so once we're done recording, I'm just going to take the dog
keep
out
on
for a
going.
walk and just keep on going. Like, we started.
Are you going to drink the Brave Noise on your dog walk?
No.
Because it's a dog walking beer?
I'm not, because it's not nice weather out. It's not like it's a nice weather.
It's really sunny here.
It's confusing. It's a roller coaster of emotions here. It is rainy, then sunny, then windy, then rainy.
Oh dear.
And
it is very windy.
It's too much for my emotional levels. So
yeah,
I'm not dog walk beer in it. I'm going to go with the big boys today. But before I do, I'm going to have a 4.2% fierce and unbarred collaboration beer called Watermelon Wheat.
Ooh.
Hey, that's my W. Because honestly, bless unbarred, because a lot of the times they don't give they go straight to the point with what it's called. They're like, this is what it is, this is what it's called. Watermelon Wheat.
Done.
We don't have like a name that's gonna throw us off of what it is. It is very clear what it is. It smells like watermelon Jolly Ranchers.
Ooh.
I poured it and I was like, it smells like Jolly Ranchers. I love it, and I love watermelon, and that's great. So this, to me, I know it's not sunny, so I'm a little bit sad about it. It's the only can I have of it, but it is perfect, and that ticks off my full name. So now I am moving on to the maiden name. So let's see what happens.
Oh my God.
At the end of Q3. Do you want to give us sort of like you were tracking a few other bits, weren't you?
Yeah, so I like to do, if you're a beerstagrammer, you do your beers on Instagram, you might see that kind of we get to about this time of year and everyone does a mid-year top 9. So I have put together my mid-year top 9. It was tough. It was tough. I've drunk a lot of good beer. But this is what I've got in my mid-year top 9. It'll appear on the gram at some point when I fiddle around with it. Number 1, Ancient Lands from Left-Handed Giant Brew Pub. Had that when I went to Bristol, like on holiday, back at the beginning of the year. It was a botanical mango sour that they did with a local botanicals company, and it was just the complexity of it and the herbalness of it, absolutely gorge. Definitely in the run-in for one of my top beers of the year, I think, that one. Second is Rain of Blood from Mash Gang, which was their cherry. So good, right? Cherry tart stout. Tasted like a proper stout. You wouldn't believe, like, if you just chucked it in front of you, that it was non-alcoholic. So that's got to be in there. My third one is Brett Connection by Cerveza Manja. This is a mixed firm brewery in Spain. And mate, can I tell you, their beers are just amazing. Like, I had it while I was at a beer festival in Spain. I've brought one of their beers back, Miss Tori, so might have to share that with you at some point because, mate, their beers are banging. Brett Connection in particular was very, very good. Also, while I was at this beer festival, I drank beers from an Italian brewery called Vetra, and their Vetra Black. Like, seriously.
You're like, I can't bring it back. Like, you're like, if I could bring it back to you,
yeah, no, they
absolutely
didn't
love it.
They didn't have cans, otherwise I'd have brought it back. Like, they just brought kegs.
You tried. You were like, they don't have any cans of it. You were like, you would love this.
Yeah, I'd bring it back. Like... It's like, so it's a black lager, absolutely amazing. They also do a coffee version of it, which was great as well. But met the guys there, having a chat with them, and they'd got, so that, you know, at beer festivals, people don't want to swap out kegs until they're empty and things, so they wanted to swap out Vetra Black for Vetra Coffee Black, and that every time I turned up at the bar, they'd just fill up my glass with Vetra Black because they were just like, yeah, and I was like, yes, I'll help you kick the keg. But I could, like, not only was I, but I could drink this beer all day. It was absolutely gorgeous. Love it. If you ever see any Vetra beers, grab them because they're delicious. Next one, TV Party from Lost and Grounded, which was their, like,
really good.
So good. It's a Goes, like, not fruited, just a regular Goes. It was on at Bristol.
I had it at Bristol.
So refreshing. I had several of it. It was so good. Like, it was the perfect, because it was so hot at Bristol Craft Beer Festival. It was the perfect.
It was perfect for the weather.
Refreshing beer. It was so good. Next, actually, it's Darkness, which is Little Monsters Black Lager. I cannot tell you how much I enjoy this beer. Absolutely amazing. Then I've got Brave Noise by Elusive. I mean, toot our own horn, but it was really good. It's a good beer.
Yeah, beep fucking beep.
Fucking beep.
Enjoyed it. Like, as far as, because I think it was like what we've done with Mirakai.
Yeah,
it's been like so good. Like the how we've done those two beers were absolutely phenomenal. And then you have like a West Coast where you're like, oh, how is this going to play out? Easily one of the most drinkable West Coast as a non-defaulting to West Coast person.
Yeah,
amazing.
Yeah. Then I've got Sour of 69. Like, this is from that Spanish Beer Festival again. So this is Sour of 69 by Green and Gold.
I like the name.
It was a raspberry and chocolate sour. Now, you don't kind of expect to see chocolate in a sour.
No.
But it was, like, it tasted like a chocolate raspberry, like, truffle. It was amazing. Like, just that you had that tartness of the raspberry, and then there was, like, chocolate in the back there, but it was still light and a sour. Like, it was madness. I loved it. That was so good. And then I probably got 10 rather than 9 because you got to put in Brave Noise Modern Mild from Mirakai because why not? Again, toot we made that. It's great. But also, equally, I really enjoyed How Berry Refreshing. Oh, yeah. That's so good. So I had to put that in there as well.
It was good as a slushy as well.
It was.
I did it as a slushy. Also worked as a slushy.
So actually, that's my mid-year top 10. But yeah, highly recommend all of those beers, peeps. Sorry, some of them are European, and you might not be able to get hold of them. Is what it is.
I'm on Instagram, but I don't do the top lists because I find it really hard. I find it really hard to do that because I think for me, the biggest struggle I have is looking back and going, oh, here's something I had a few months ago, and that is one of the top ones. Like, it takes a lot to stand out in my mind. Like, so I think, double-barreled what Mrs. Fletcher knows is like, that is one of the ones that like stands out in my mind as being great. The Brave Noises that we made, great. There's just been a lot of really good beer.
Yeah.
Like Holy Goat.
Oh, yeah.
Amazing. Like, it is so difficult for me to go, here are my top however many specific beers. So I didn't really do a top 9. The only thing I'll contribute to this conversation is that I think the top breweries for me, and I'm removing anybody that I've got any personal relationship to, because I feel like if somebody even knows that you are friendly with someone in a brewery, that is like, that could be misconstrued as you are just promoting them, you're fangirling because you like the people. So if I were to say the breweries that I love, that I have literally zero connection to, have never spoken to them, but have ordered multiple beers, and they're the ones that I'm going to get their beers at beer festivals, I've got 2. And for me, that is Holy Goat and Yonder. And I'll tell you, it's because Yonder, they are constantly making really interesting stuff that's high quality, consistently high quality, and I love sours. And they've also managed to like slushy their beers, and they've done like, just when they say they've done a flavour, most of the time they've hit that flavour, and when they've not hit it, it's still tasted really good. So like those mystery beers, did I agree that was what I was getting from certain
Victoria
ones?
Sponge.
No. I'm just saying. But did I still really enjoy it? Absolutely.
Yeah, it was still delicious.
I think they are one, like, they are so good. If we could talk to them, they would be someone that I would 100% like. If I were to say like, who would I want to talk to, it would 100% be like Yonder and Holy Goat, because Holy Goat as well just is consistently making such interesting, complex beers. And I feel like that's where I'm at the moment, is I'm just like, what is just really interesting and complex that I want to share with, like, I maybe don't even want to have a whole big bottle of something, but I'd want to share that, and I'd want to be in the right atmosphere and like have other people try it. And it was funny, at Bristol I went with some people I worked with to the first session. I went with some people I worked with and one of their partners, and they were like, what is your favourite brewery at the moment? And I went, I have to remove everybody I know. If I had to remove everybody I know, and I told them about all the other ones that I do know people, but I said, if you were asking me based on someone I know literally nobody at, and therefore take out all the bias, full stop, and the unconscious bias, Holy Goat, like 100%. She then saw them at a stand and was like, oh, you've said such high, like, you've spoken so highly about them, I'm going to try them. And I was like, whoa. It was like,
wait a minute.
I was like,
wait a minute. Yeah. Wait.
Because I felt like I was like, before you do it, I feel like I have to warn you that if you're going in with a certain expectation, I should let you know that it may not be that expectation. Just because she's not, like, she likes beer, but I don't know enough about how much she knows, like, what she's expecting. So I was just like, FYI, this is one that you may love, but I feel like I need to give you the disclaimer before you have it, to, like, maybe try a little bit, because I was like, they're not always entry level. And the ones that they had on tap at Bristol, by the time we went to it, were not the entry level ones. So I was like, I really enjoyed this, but maybe you should try it.
What do you normally drink?
You agree to all of it.
Yeah, true.
So and then she ended up being like, I can understand. She's like, it's not for me, but I can understand why. You would really enjoy this, because it is really interesting. And I was, because she tried a sample of it, and she's like, it is really interesting, and I get exactly why you said what you've said. And I was like, I just like to warn people before they're like, a big serving. They're like, not for me.
But also, I was thinking about this the other day, and I think these are breweries that we don't have anything in common with. But the reason that we have these breweries that are now our friends, like, they weren't before we started this podcast, or before we started, like, doing what we do in beer. Like, we now have friends that were people that we were just like, we really like these breweries and we're going to buy their beers. And, you know, when we first started this podcast, and I think
we talk about them regularly, don't we? We're like,
talk about these breweries regularly. Like, they were people that we just enjoyed their beer when we first started out, and now we're very privileged to count them as friends. And, you know,
well, I don't know, they might not count us as friends. And we haven't got any friends. We haven't bought them a drink for their birthday, so I don't know. Friends. I never say friends, because I'm like, someone will probably hear this and go, I'm not your friend, I'm your acquaintance. And I'm like, I'm so sorry.
I'm calling them my friends. They're my friends. I don't care. They're my friends now. But yeah, like, and that's like, we may not be the biggest podcast. We may not be, up there on the old Apple podcast charts, but I can see, like, the change that we've helped to create, and see the community that we've become a part of and we're helping to build, which is all positive things, I think. So, you know, thanks for being part of our little beer podcast and being part of our beer community, because we love you all.
We do. And so the only reason that I sort of, when someone says like, what's it, I take them out, is only because we talk about them all the time, which is like, it's an ongoing promotion anyways, but it's not even about the promotion aspect of it. It's the fact that I'm like, I feel like there has to be some level of sort of recognizing that unconscious bias as well, to go like, well, I have this person that's my friend and I really enjoy what they make and they make such quality things, but is someone going to hear me saying it knowing that I have that relationship and go, yeah, but. So I'm like, okay, let's remove that from it, and here's what I say, because I talk about all the rest of it enough that I'm like,
all the time. Because
like,
we love you guys.
Like,
we
come
love
back
you all.
on again. Emma, you're basically like,
yeah, she's not been on in a while. God, we need. Emma's been really busy. Gotta get Emma on. She's gonna yell at us.
It's like, that's the thing, is like, when it comes to people, it's like we haven't had some of the people that we're really close to back on, because we just know, either back on or on for the first time, just because we know like how busy they are. And it's that thing of like, you don't want someone to feel like they're saying yes out of obligation and that they're not taking the time for themselves to have some breaks. So like, if you're listening to this and you are someone that we are close to and you're like, why haven't I been on or back on in a while, or anything else like that, not that we are the make or break podcast at all, but it is more a case of, we don't want you to be like, I feel like I have to say yes now. Because we talk, I feel like
everyone's welcome on a Women's Brew podcast. Get hold of us. Let us know. You can come on.
Unless you're horrible, then you can't come on.
Yeah, no.
Say no.
There's like, you know, we'll let you down gently, but yeah.
Maybe. It depends.
It depends on who you are.
Depends on who you get. So I didn't do that like brewery roundup, but I will just sort of sum things up by saying, sort of, I looked at the festivals we attended, and if we look at festivals attended, we had like together we had Indie Beer Feast in Bristol. Did we have any others? I think it was just those two that we both
I think it was just those two, yeah.
Just those two. Beer events that I've attended, like, I can only count what I've done. You've talked about some of yours, but I basically, in the last quarter, we did the Star Wars event together.
Oh yeah.
I went to Elusive's birthday. I went to a tap takeover for the launch of Mysterious Beers. I went to, I can't tell you now actually, because it's happened technically in this quarter, so we'll talk about it, but a really exciting inaugural meetup, so we'll talk about that in the next quarter review. New venues that were visited, so I went to Beer Baladin, Three Locks Brewery, Hamerton, Outhouse Brewery in Wokingham, which is so local to me and I can't believe I hadn't gone sooner, and Sit and Sip, and that's just because there's so much choice around me that Sit and Sip was just not one that I made it to before. But I went for a tap takeover for Bard just to go support a friend, a friend who I also have like self-conscious issues is going to be like, I'm not your friend. But yeah, how about you? Were there any new venues that you?
Yeah, we stumbled upon Whitstable Brewery's tap room on the seafront in Whitstable. And they had, like, so they had their own beers on, but they also had a fridge of some good craft stuff. They had good craft stuff on the taps. I was pleasantly surprised by that. Like, Whitstable Brewery, I've bought their beer for years. And I think they're trying to get a bit more crafty now. Because their other stuff's not really traditional. But they do tend to do, like, they do an oyster stout. They used to do a raspberry wheat, which was delicious. I don't think they make that anymore. I had their wheat beer. Yeah, it was good. But yeah, they had a really good fridge. They had like Yonder and Daya and Spatch and Hob Day in the fridge, Duration in the fridge. So, you know, good little selection there. And we just kind of stumbled upon it one bank holiday when we were wandering around Whitstable. So that was good. I don't think I've been anywhere else.
I genuinely love Yonder, and I feel like we had the opportunity to probably reach out to them when we've covered them before, but we've been so busy that it didn't happen, and now I'm like, we blew our chance.
No, I don't think so. I think there's always time. Maybe I'll go annoy him at Manchester Craft Beer Festival.
Please do. Please, just tell him I love them.
My friend Tori says she loves you.
Loves you. No, don't do that. Let's just pass him a note. I'll write them a note
yes,
out.
No.
Like,
tick.
I heart you. Yes. Record with us. Y or N.
Do kids do that nowadays, or is there some sort of app for that now on their smartphones?
I'm not in touch with that. with that. I may be eternally 24 until my coworker turns 25 and then we both turn 25.
Oh.
But I don't know about like school level kids. I mean, there's probably an app now that's like.
There's got to be an app for that now,
You
right?
just like pass the phone around. That makes me sad to think about. Back to the spots. Have you anywhere else?
I don't think so. I think that's it. I don't think anything new else has opened up anywhere.
I think like I had all these places, so I wanted to go to Little Pomona, I wanted to go to Sacred Profane, Little Earth Project, All Day Brewing 360 Degrees.
No, I have been somewhere. Time and Tide opened up their tap room opened up a bar near me. So they've had one at the brewery, but they've now got a bar near me. That used to be like their beer's always been on at this bar, but they now have it to themselves. So yeah, they do meet the brewers and things there. So yeah, actually I went there as well.
I'm jealous because you told me about that and I was like, I want to go, and then I didn't get a chance.
So you need to come visit me, and then we can go there and we can go to the Foundry. It'll be great.
I know. None of the places that I wanted to visit I've ticked off yet, so we'll wait and see, I guess, what happens there. There's so many places out there.
So many
places. Not enough time to go to all of them. Rick wants to. I've convinced him that he will rent a camper van. We're thinking about doing it for his birthday weekend in September. And I was like, you can pick where we go. But then I was also like, please pick some place that has a brewery. But I think he'll be selfless, I think. And he'll.
Do you think so?
I think in the sense that he'll pick somewhere that'll be like, and then I looked and there's a beer spot. But I was like, we'll go wherever you want. We'll do whatever you want to do. And I'm like, but please pick someone that's got. But it's fine. It's no hard and fast rule.
It's no big. It's your birthday. Do what you like.
It's your birthday, but also like.
But also, what if we went to a beer place?
We could though. Don't rule that out. Have we had any significant, just to wrap it up, this will be the last thing, any significant personal or podcast highlights that we think are worth mentioning?
We hit 150 episodes. We completely forgot.
We did. Yeah, you did message going, I just put out 150.
I
was like, oh.
This is episode 150. We've done 150 episodes, everyone.
Way!
Yeah.
Thanks for listening to us for 150. Thanks for listening to us chat shit for
150 episodes.
I started doing Will It Slushy. That was
you did.
Surprisingly, there's a surprising amount of people that have like messaged me about that, and I was like, it's just a joke. Like my family has been like, but Will It Slushy though? And I'm like, I don't know. I was like, Will what Slushy? You haven't given me a thing. I can't find out. Yeah. I can't really think of any other big things. I feel like we did some things in Q1. I feel like there's a lot more things that we just can't talk about.
Q2's just been kind of, we've been living.
Maintaining. We're like, let's just maintain.
Yeah.
Let's just float.
Yeah.
For a bit. Not drown.
Which is fine as well.
Wow.
All right.
Anyways,
I want to go finish these beers. Yeah. Tori, if people want to suggest things that you can slushy, or if they want to be your friend, because apparently we've got no friends, where can they get hold of you?
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram at adventures_in_optimism, and I've got links to everything else there. Or I guess you could email me if you really, really want to be my friend and tell me why. You can email me at adventuresinoptimism@gmail.com. I mean, I say like
there's an application process.
You have to pitch it to me. Clearly, I just don't have enough friends, so I'll be like approved. And then if you want to speak to Joe and I both because you like both of us and you want us both to be your friend, you can find us at a Women's Brew on Instagram or a Women's Brew podcast@gmail.com. Joe, if people want to talk to you about venues that they should go to or trips to the continental Europe that they want to go to,
yeah, you can come and talk to me. I've done some different things. I have done some different things. You can come and ask me about that. I am at my beer school, which is Love Beer Learning. We are on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok and Pinterest. I'm usually on Instagram. We're not on Threads yet. You can also come to my website, which is lovebeerlearning.co.uk. There's lots of educational things on there that you can look at. And this podcast is there. Or you can email me, lovebeerlearning@gmail.com. We're also on YouTube if you want to come and see what our lovely faces look like. Yeah, that's where all the places that we are on.
Equally, it's fine if you don't want to see our faces. I
you
don't
don't
want to hear my voice, see my face back either.
She never
It's
does.
totally fine.
I could literally make her say anything. Deep fake it.
Deep fake. On that note,
Cheers.
cheers.